Before this video begins, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Also, be sure to check out my affiliates down below so you can get discounts on different car mods and products. Alrighty, let's get into the drive. Hello and welcome. Today we are driving a 2001 Ford Crown Victoria Police Interceptor. These are my favorite cars of all time in all existence. I don't really know why, but it's an undying passion, and I definitely want to buy one of these someday. So, any opportunity I get, even in this absolute piece of crap, sketchy as heck, Ford Crown Victoria cop car, I am happy to drive it. So, this Ford Crown Victoria, it has a spotlight. It does not have a push bar. This was originally, it looks like a car in Warwick, Rhode Island for their fire department. This was last inspected in 2014. It's currently August of 2023. We don't question that. There is a lot of rust around this car. We also don't question that. There was no startup of this car because I had to use a jumper box to jumpstart it, and it occasionally dies out, so we'll see what happens. But once again, we don't question it. This is powered by the legendary 4.6 liter naturally aspirated 2-valve V8. This makes 238 horsepower and 275 pound-feet of torque. In the back, this does have a dual exhaust system and is mated with a 4-speed automatic. This rides on independent front suspension with coil springs in the rear and is a rear-wheel drive car. So this has the same engine out of the Mustang of the time and in my two Ford F-150s, which both have this 4.6 liter engine, but this Police Interceptor version does have a couple upgrades, such as in the suspension, the cooling, and just a couple different upgrades. It's more powerful and ready to idle up to like 10-20,000 hours these can idle for in their lifetime and still be running okay. So this currently has, per the mileage, 186,000 miles. Don't know if that's quite accurate. It also has a check engine light. We don't question that. Has a brake light. We don't question that. So I just want to drive this thing. I love these cars. I don't care what kind of shape they're in. But as we step outside, here's some legendary, very, very loose trim, some duct tape. Then in the back here, it's just full of junk. When you open it, a giant piece of metal fell off because it's all rusty. Has some antennas, has some rust, has some things. It's still beautiful to me. I don't care. I love these cars endlessly, so I will never pass up an opportunity. It also smells like gas, so that's not great. Had some rust here. Got some steel wheels. Got some faded headlights. Got some faded plastic, but I love it. So I still love this thing. I took it for a ride yesterday. I took it on the highway. It got very, very, very questionable with flashing check engine light and some massive engine shuddering, so we're not going to go on the highway today. But yeah, I love this thing. I definitely didn't want to leave you guys out of seeing me test drive this. Whether you like it or not, that's up to you, but I love these cars, so I'll never pass an opportunity. Gotta love that rattle. All right, so if you rev it, still sounds pretty good. It's the 4.6. I love this engine. So we will go for a ride. I have no air conditioning in this, so I'm going to keep the windows down. I apologize for some excessive wind noise. I'll try and keep a monitor on it. But yeah, has dual airbags in here. Has this really ugly steering wheel. It has like actually like a blue interior in here. It's like a blue vinyl in the back for the seats. Very interesting. It has some water over there. We don't question that either. Might be a leak, might be air conditioning line going. We don't know. We don't care. This car is just going to scrap anyway. It's just a buddy's car. So in theory, they paid 500 bucks for this. So yeah, it works. Radio surprisingly does work. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, that's about it. We will take this out for a spin. I have the jump box in case it gives out on me again. And yeah, we will see. Oh, and also the brake basically goes right to the floor before it does anything. So not great there. This thing is like, this column shifter is excessively loose. Not great, but she runs. Now I'm in neutral. Can't even tell where the gears are. That should be reverse. Yep, that's reverse. It sounds good. I love these cars with an undying passion. I will be buying one as soon as humanly possible, but we'll see when that occurs. All right, so it's technically a gear. There's actually no RPM gauge in here. This is an earlier version. I pumped up the tires a little bit because those were getting a little bit low. That grinding noise is the brakes. They work. Also, whenever I hit the brakes in here or come to a stop, I shift about ½ an inch forward and back in the seat. It's not really stuck in the seat rails very well. Once again, we do not question these things. I love these cars, whatever shape they're in. Foot's to the floor. Gotta love that 4.6, even though it hasn't been inspected since 9 years ago. She still runs, does okay for herself. Shudders massively, check engine light doesn't go off. It'll probably start flashing at some point, but you know, she runs. I have permission to drive this car, so we'll see how it goes. But as for the interior in here, it's not in great shape, but overall it held together okay for the most part. These cars are pretty timeless. They made these from about 1997 to 2011, this generation. I did drive a nicer Crown Vic, so make sure to check out that video. See, here's the flashing check engine light. Once again, we don't need to question it. It runs. I took it up to 70 miles an hour yesterday. It did okay, so. It's shuddering massively. I won't doubt that, but it runs. Foot's to the floor there on the brakes, and it finally starts kicking in. So we have brakes. On a legal basis, we have brakes. Oh, wow, those brakes feel amazing. Warped rotors beyond belief. Loud brake pads. Everything is against you in this car, but you're still in a cop car. So everyone thinks you're a cop, and that actually works. You cannot impersonate a cop, that is a felony. But everything short of that, everyone still thinks you're a cop, and that actually helps, because people drive safer around you on the road. So it's pretty cool to have a cop car. I am not moving. As you might be able to see, the whole car is bouncing because of the just beyond terrible idle. Once again, it runs. That's all you need to know. Yeah, we'll take a right here. A lot of traffic. Hell yeah. Gotta love the Crown Vic. P71 Retired Mafia. That's what people call these cars on social media. They call it Retired Mafia. Not exactly sure where the name came from, but something with, you know, you're cool if you have one of these cars to some people. Sorry for my voice shaking a little bit. This thing is beyond bouncy. So, oh gosh. This is by far the worst vehicle I've ever driven in terms of physical shape. I have never driven a car in this bad of mechanical shape, but it went a number of miles yesterday, so it's good enough. I still love it. Hopefully you guys do too. I know I have a few Crown Vic enthusiasts in the Radial Reviews fan base, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, it runs. It does what it needs to do. So it's got 186,429 miles. No clue on the idle hours because this was a fire department vehicle, so it probably didn't idle nearly as much as a police car. But it runs okay, quite honestly. It just doesn't start very well. It has a lot of belt noises and squealing and stuff, but it works its way through. It breaks through the dirt, and then we're good. So I don't know if this has a traction control button. To my knowledge, it doesn't, because most P71s actually do not have traction control. Ford just chose to not include it all the way up to many of the cars, if not all the cars, in 2011. So you can definitely drift these cars. They're really fun in the snow, or just that's a nice Veloster. No, but really anyone can drift these cars with no skill or knowledge. It works pretty well. You gotta be careful though, because these things are absolute tanks on the road. These are probably one of the heaviest vehicles around me, even like nearing the weight of some of these trucks. But you know, it runs okay. These 4.6 liter engines, I love them. I have one at 242,000 in one of my trucks, and then 223 in my other F-150, and those aren't even the police version, so they really do last a long time. And some of them in New York City taxis go 500,000 miles. They do okay. So, and those are the non-cop car ones sometimes. So let's see. Well, that gear almost didn't shift. Yeah. It was there for about 2 seconds and just stuck in redline. It would not shift. I had to completely let off the gas to get it to shift. You know, it runs. I love it. This car, you cannot have a more powerful presence on the road than a cop car, especially with like a spotlight. I wish this car was in better shape, because I'd take it down the highway and show you guys how everyone drives really safely around you, which is good. I would never do anything impersonating police, but you know, it's just nice to have that safety around you, because here in Rhode Island, where I drive around and live, people are not good drivers. So yeah, steering in here works okay. This one doesn't handle great. The frame is definitely somewhat rotten in here, so I can't really judge too much on this car, but overall they don't have that much body roll. Like versus a normal Crown Victoria, these are much stiffened suspensions, so that's good. And you can actually, if you want to, you can get Kevlar tires for some of these. Get bulletproof tires, which is pretty funny. So yeah, these cars are definitely something. they are my favorite car of all time right now. Like, I really would take one of these in good shape first over a Corvette or something. I am a very, very much an enthusiast about these. Sounds amazing. Even with the stock exhaust in these, the 4.6 always sounded pretty good for a motor, because it's the same one out of New Edge Mustangs, so you know, it's got some heritage right there. Get some good use. I don't want to kill this too much because eventually I'm going to lose the transmission, so I can't redline it every second, but you can get it to step out pretty easily, lose traction. You know, check engine lights flashing. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine, you know, that kind of mindset. So I love these cars. I do not care what kind of shape these cars are in. You cannot prevent me from at least checking with every Crown Vic that comes through friends and stuff, because I have a few friends that flip cars and stuff, so you will not catch me declining checking out a Crown Victoria cop car. Ford Crown Victoria Police Interceptor, has the badge on the back. Got a lot more issues than that, but you know, got a lot of rust, but seriously, I wish I could buy this car. Not in this shape, but really, I wish I could buy this car. Let's have a turn in here just so I can come back out, see if I can get the car to drift a little bit on my turns. So let's have a look-see. These things have such a bad turning radius. All right, so let's for it. Yeah, you got a little bit. This one's actually harder to get to step out than the other ones. Later on, with, you know, of course, a better frame, this would have a tighter suspension, but as you heard, a little tire screech. They're rear-wheel drive, so you can get these to step out pretty easily. If you're trained, you could get them to drift, so they are awesome. Alrighty, that'll just about wrap up this video. I just had to get the opportunity to put this on YouTube, driving another Crown Victoria. Hopefully the next video I do with one of these will be my own at some point if I buy one. But I love these cars endlessly. You can't tell me otherwise. They're not awesome cars. They're one of the best cars in all time in my weird opinion, so I love them. And yeah, as always, drive with passion, especially in a Crown Victoria. Thank you very much for watching, and take care. And God bless the 4.6.